as I was mentioning, there are two aspects to validly paying stamp duty. One is revenue to the state, which Ashish covered completely. The second is to deface the stamp paper. Now, just because we are moving to a digital system doesn't mean you overlook that requirement, right? So I disagree that when we're shifting from physical to digital, you are overlooking some compliances. There, it's possible, and one of the ways of making it possible is through legality, where the stamp paper, the physical stamp paper, is defaced before you use it digitally, right? And that depends on the document journey and so on and so forth. But it's absolutely possible to be fully 100% compliant while else also doing the journey digitally by ensuring the stamp paper is defaced.
Yeah. Thank you, Sapan. Kalindi, would you like to add anything from your side?
Yeah, so there are various ways. I mean, like I said, stockholding corporation and a lot of other providers facilitate e-stamp paper. Even banks provide a lot of franking facilities. So as far as you have something to demonstrate that you have paid the stamp duty, and I think this equally, lies true for anything where you are talking about the electronic signature, that as far as you are complying in essence with what the requirement of the act is, you will be able to withhold your positions even in the judiciary framework.
Thank you, Kalindi. Mr. Ganesh, please unmute yourself and ask your question live.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for this opportunity, and it has been a very enlightening and insightful discussion. I just, my question is more to do with, the evidence or evidencing the validity of the signature. I mean, Ashish did clarify on the fact, so I'm just elaborating on that. The certifying authorities under the rules are required to maintain the database, or they have, for 7 years.